What's up, guys? Let me know if you can hear me. Just wanted to come on here, go over, see where we're at in the market. I'm not sure how many people will join. I'm probably not going to do a super long one today, but just going to go over some basics. I did say I wanted to cover Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana onto AVAX, so those will be the ones I'll go over. Still above weekly inverse fair value gap here, holding, so still remain bullish above this. Yes, can we come to the bottom of the range here? Yep, and that'll be make or break for me, whether I'm going to hold on or see, but that's just what I'm looking at here. Of course, Bitcoin dominance can pump like crazy while this still happens and alts get nuked, but that's just where I'm at. Let's see if we're holding. We're gonna come down even farther, even though I do think we hold around here. If we come down farther, this is gonna be the area I'll be looking. If we get a mid-range bounce, which lines up right around the 0.5, 618. So same thing we were looking at yesterday there. The daily still doesn't look terrible. Like, I think it looks pretty good here. If you draw it with a channel and you're taking the wick highs, I'm gonna line this thing up actually. If I can get this thing right. No, I'm just gonna go to that one. I do not feel like messing with this for now. So here's the channel that I had. Still currently long from down here. I thought this was going to be a discount, a little deviation of this range, come back up. So far that's where I'm longing. And I know we had like a potential PO3 here that I was looking at, but I mean, if you're looking at this thing in general, just on like a daily, this could be your PO3 here that we had, right? And this could be your expansion stage that we're in, but it's just driving people fucking crazy. Let's get blue. This is green. So this could be your PO3 that we're actually still looking at. AMD, whatever you want to call it. You got your accumulation, your manipulation, distribution up top here. So this could still be under play, right? And if you're looking at it in a weekly time frame, this could just be above a weekly old fair value gap turned into an inverse fair value gap with a bull flag for higher prices, and we're just going to consolidate here and drive people crazy until it's time to actually break out of this thing. It's been, God, in this consolidation, almost 100 days, so about a third of a year. So it's really just people are super impatient right now. Don't blame them. We haven't really been doing much. Just zooming out and looking at the bigger picture of this sometimes helps. I know this is the 5-bit chart. I use a bunch of them just to show different aspects from what I'm looking at. But that overall, that's what I'm looking at. This was the one reason I got long down here. The crab, and then it was a shark almost. This should be a 618 area, but this was a nice crab that we had that marked the bottom here on Bitcoin. Like I said earlier, I got the bid a little bit lower. So overall, I mean, I think it looks good. On your daily, I was looking at MACD here. If you line this up, I mean, this is a pretty good where you would start to want to see this reverse here and go up and start curving up. Just watching the MACD, something like that, if this will start moving up, it would make sense for it to be around here. daily RSI. Pretty much completely reset on that down here where we put in bottoms prior. Low when you're down here, that was a bottom. This was a bottom for a move, so at least a decent move could be put in. I mean, we have reset on the daily. For RSI, the Stoke is completely reset, so that looks like it's actually curving up, ready to maybe make a nice move. So I wouldn't be surprised for us to get a push up here. Lower time frame here. See if I can get rid of this. We're looking at the 4 hour. This doesn't look terrible either. Nice little bounce. Remember, there was this low time frame harmonic that we spotted. If you guys were on the last streams, 127. Actually, like almost tagged the exact bottom here. So I'm pretty sure we came up to a 618 on the news that we had, or the FOMC. Tag 618, maybe come back down to this area, reset, and then go from here. Like I said, I already showed you the levels lower if we do drop that I was looking at. For me, I'm keeping it very simple. Above this level, where I'm long, I'm going to stay long on this with higher targets. I have nothing to believe that level's going to break down yet. There have to be multiple things that would have to happen for that to happen. One of them just simple trend line. Once this starts to break down, yeah, sure, but that would also include breaking below your weekly IFG down here. So for now, I literally do not see anything that's going to make me macro bearish on Bitcoin. What's up, Hazy? What's up, everybody else that's coming in here? Can odds get wrecked? Yes. There's a dominance chart that I have. So I had a shark, harmonic shark, mark the bottom on Bitcoin dominance. And you can see at the potential reversal zone, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs down here. We had a nice little channel, broke out of the channel. That's when Bitcoin started to really take off, dominance. And boom. I mean, typically 0.5 is where you start to see a retrace, where you enter a short or a bearish 5-0 harmonic. This thing probably could come up, maybe tap the 618 weekly fair value gap filled there. I'm pretty sure if you go to the monthly here, that would fill the entire monthly. And then you'd also be running in to this area. It's just, you would find some resistance over here, in my opinion. So I do think we are coming up to it. Maybe one more fuck you candle on dominance, but we are starting to get into a territory where alts are looking pretty cheap, especially compared to Bitcoin. Can't get absolutely whacked and it be a Bitcoin cycle because of institutional money coming in, but just an observation, we have this trend line that we've been holding as well. There's been no weakness on this. I mean, we're starting to hug it a little bit more than we were previously on the move up. So it's not reacting off it as much as it used to. Maybe we do get a candle, but once you start seeing this break and we start getting some nice candle closes below this thing, then yeah, sure, I think we can all potentially look for this to break down. So that's covered that. Fair value gap daily here still. We have the weekly one that we did tap into barely. gotta really zoom in on this one. I think some exchanges hit it and then some didn't. So I don't think this exchange did. This was on Binance. Coinbase did tap in. Coinbase is spot driven, so that's important for me there. Bybit tapped into it. KuCoin tapped into it. Binance is just a bunch of fucking apes right now bidding. Everything else is pretty much tapped into the weekly fair value gap, which is a sign that we could reverse from that. We have tagged it, which is nice. So that's basically what I was looking at on Bitcoin. Bring the mic closer so you guys can hear me. I remember the last one was a little quiet. I have a new mic on the way too. ETH came down. We tapped over the mid of the weekly fair value gap that we had. Let me pull up a recent chart that I was looking at that I've been using. So this was the 5.0 that we've had. So this was an old 5.0 that we had, a bearish shark into a bullish 5.0. And I was looking at the new one that we're putting in over here. Into a bull 5.0. So it is at 3,400. Pretty sure we came pretty close, 3,420. I mean, that's no reason to be scared of not entering it or something. So far that looks pretty good. Maybe it does chop a little bit more. Maybe get one more wick sweep and then go, which would be ideal. But I do think we get a reaction. And then if you're looking left, we'd actually be flipping this old order block that we had midpoint into support here. We got above it finally, and we're coming down flipping into support. This one failed over here, but we were holding above it, getting weekly closes. I was thinking at some point maybe if this held, boom, but we just fell right through it. But now that this is retested, we've mitigated some of these lower order blocks here. This might be the retest into the mid, where we're actually going to hold this time for higher. And if we do, this is what I'm looking at, just a higher time frame. We have the ratios for a bearish butterfly where I would probably take a short up here for sure, or look for a short, because this is weekly. So it could take time, and I wouldn't want to rush into it. Maybe you get a nice spike up and then come back down and then retest this in the future as resistance and then break down. I mean, I think that would be a pretty good area. Lineup that we have. But once we start breaking above this, I mean, and holding above that, I think we can get a nice impulse move. We get our BAM on our harmonic. We're above this area, which was resistance, resistance, resistance. Once we flip this, I do think ETH can get a nice pump up. As long as you don't see a fake deviation, that would be a good short. If we do get up, break down below, deviate, and we're closing weekly candles down there. But overall, I don't think it looks terrible, man. There's levels that are holding on right now that need to hold on, and if they don't hold on, then fine. I'm wrong on my bias, but overall, I think it still looks pretty good. I think people are just losing their mind mentally because of the time aspect versus price aspect. And alts are taking a beating, so that takes most people are underexposed to Bitcoin and ETH, and underexposed to Bitcoin and ETH and overexposed to alts, which is making them capitulate. We'll take a look at total. Did I delete everything off of total? It's kind of shitty. I had this whole thing charted out. Alright. Well, one thing I had to was just previous cycle. This extension of our fibs actually have been working pretty well for future price action, so I'm just going to leave that on there, and then I'll put this one over here on there. Let me lock these real quick. is the lock. Am I blind? Oh, there it is. Alright, now I can't move them around. Because they worked really well for looking at areas that have been supportive and not, like basically this 1618 here. So from this high to low, back in 18 to the bottom in like 2020, 19. The 1618 here was our resistance in this bear market. So once we broke above that is when I really thought this bull market was taking off, which was here. Like I said, trend line's still intact. There's no reason for me to be extremely bearish here, especially on total market cap over to break down from this. If anything, it's you got a clear invalidation here. I would really have to see us get a little candle close here, and maybe then we get a capitulation wick down and hopefully come back up, reclaim, and go. But these overlapping areas have always been consolidation stages where you get two of these from this cycle and this cycle, two prices at the same Fibonacci in the same area overlapping. They've been a nice consolidation stage. So you had one right here, consolidation stage. We had two fibs, consolidation, two fibs. So that's just one thing I've seen with confluence. So we'll see if this can finally start to break out, or if we're gonna reject. Overall, it doesn't look terrible. If we are gonna come down, there's a harmonic on the downside. There's also, I believe, one on the upside. If we did come all the way down, say we do get a pretty big capitulation candle, the area I would be looking to bid would be down here. These two fibbed confluence, you have a perfect bat structure, and it's a pretty good level on total. So that's always going to be in the back of my mind. If we get that, that's an area I am prepared for. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just in case, you know what I mean? I am aware of it. And for that, for a trigger for me for that, would me start to see this B point under these get rejected. We start coming down here and we're rejecting like this. This would be more of a trigger for me for the farther move down. Ondo just hit TP, David said. Yeah, I posted that in Discord earlier. We're actually going to go to Ondo next. Do you remember which chart I had? I was using this one, right? Yeah, so Ondo hit the TP off that I told you guys earlier. So I posted this one down here today. I said there was a lower time frame harmonic on Ondo. And holy fuck, I love this fucking coin, man. I literally have majority, or a lot of my portfolio in this one at the moment, and I've been buying since literally 20 cents and then adding. Got a hefty bag in this, but this was the harmonic. We had a bat. I called this out in my Discord earlier. Look at that fucking wick on Binance. Does every exchange have that wick on? If so, I'm fucking stoked. I actually took a nice little scalp on my other exchange on this one down here when this bat played. We had a low, we had a B, close to between 382 and 1.5, 618 pretty much. And then you look for your 886 when you have between a 382 and a 0.5, and this is between a 382 and a 886. That would be the bat structure. You look for 886. This one actually is out of range, unfortunately, but it's still played. So this is the most least important, but it's also very important to know context when you're digging really deep into harmonics and looking at differentiating stuff. So just through experience, I thought this still looked good. He had a nice sweep over here, almost formed like a inverse head and shoulders I was looking at. What I was watching was just overall, and I didn't draw this or anything, I just like visualized it. I was watching something like this. And it did reject right now, but it's pretty much what I was looking at. But into a harmonic down here. And there was actually a nice little divergence too that I think it was on the, maybe it was the 2 hour I was looking at. Yeah, there's a 2 hour hidden bullish divergence on the harmonic too, which is why I said if you guys want to take a scalp, you can take a scalp on this. I'll go over high time frame in a second, but you had a low, then a higher low at the harmonic, and then you also have a low and then a lower low, which is a hidden bullish divergence, which shows continuation to the upside to at least take out this high up here, which is exactly what it did. And you can RSI here too. Oh, not to HSI. RSI still had it. This is a little overextended, but HSI is a little more aggressive, or AMP RSI is a little more aggressive than just typical RSI. It's also it's Carney software show. I mean, it's hop. Oh yeah, there's a shark over here. So it was a type 2 on the shark actually. Oh, beautiful. It actually called the exact bottom of the shark over here. I didn't even see this earlier, but that's probably the exact bottom. What a, oh wait, why is this not pinned? Where do you have it from? Like right here? Oh, you had it here, yeah. Oh well, either way, it showed the shark. Boom, take off. Nice. Let me actually pull something up real quick. Yeah, look at this. This is from the Discord. Played out nicely, huh? Let me see if I can actually pull up the chart, and I don't know if I'm able to overlay the chart. But that's where I posted it. 30-minute bat on Ondo could be a nice scalp, so definitely took off. If anybody took that scalp, I mean, posted it. The price was 123 at the moment when I first recognized it. So 9% total, 18% move at the top. So congrats if anybody took it. All right, let's go back and just look over Ondo higher. I haven't been watching it too much, like high time frame, because I mean, dude, I just buy and it goes up. It's just been going up since I bought it, and I see people shorting it all the time, and I'm like, all right, go ahead and try, man. You're shorting one of the strongest coins in the market right now while everything's fucking downtrending or getting nuked. Ondo has been up since April. This is the area I told people to add at like 61, 62 cents. It's up 100% from there right now. I'm still long from 71 cents. On leverage, which I did take some off here, and I took some off here, the 137 area. So the rest I'm just gonna let run and then hold my spot. I am in January 2025, 310 calls, I believe. I'll check Tesla too, because Tesla is one I do trade really well. And I've really liked the structure on it. And then I'll go into AVAX and Solana. I think were the other two I wanted to cover. Tesla, I think, is bottom. So there's this massive downtrend, which if this breaks out, I mean, we do have a Gartley over here up at 346, which is very possible. But man, this thing can go to the 1.6. I'm not even kidding. Especially macro butterfly that we had here, just perfect. Like this is a macro harmonic on Tesla. And this was the initial play that I took last time. And we basically just came down, pretty much tight 2'd it down here in the harmonic. So it just looks good too. It did go a little bit lower than I thought on the Gartley, but I did have my 886, 786 zone from here to here that I had marked. And we tagged into it, and that zone is, I see reversals out of there a lot. So this was a nice Gartley, and the 786 was, let's just mark these. I should have these marked, to be honest. So there's the 786, which we haven't broke above yet. 1618 area is right there. So that's, and 886 is here. So that's like your reversal zone. We had a nice little 2-week manipulation below it, but we've gotten back above it now and consolidated above this. To really see the fireworks, we got to start flipping this 786 here of the Gartley that we had, which is 183. So as soon as that breaks, I mean, I think we impulse up to the 200s, 220s. And then from there, it might be a little battle, maybe come back down. But once this thing breaks out and we actually do just literally simple breakout of this thing, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised on what Tesla can do. I mean, this is, how long of a downtrend are we talking that we'll break out of? Currently 952 days, so almost 1,000 days through, like about a almost 3 year downtrend that we've had on Tesla. So I think a lot of people will be surprised once this thing actually breaks out of here, if it does, on how high this can go. And it has a perfect harmonic for a potential setup to 605, at least 346. And a 1618 from this range would be all-time high area. So that's another area to watch out for. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at on Tesla. I do have some calls into 2025 here, January. Might roll them farther over if I need to. But I have been stacking Tesla calls in this range down here. And I still think it's a good area for longer term calls. I have no issue in saying that I personally think this is a good area. And that's what I am doing. You guys make your own decision, but I do like Tesla down here. Alright, what was it? Solana. Did BTC spike too, or just Ondo? And BTC's going down. Ondo. Honestly. That's actually fucking hilarious though, because didn't Cole said he was adding to his Ondo shorts? If so, Cole fucked. Which I'm cool about. That might have been his shorts. Probably not, but. Oh, total 3 too. I wanted to cover this real quick. I don't get how everybody's so fucking bearish without this break. Like, just zoom out on a weekly or even the daily, 3-day, 2-day.
Bonzi, right? Sorry, I know you're saying right now, so I just want to add. Go look at the Bitcoin 6-month chart and then question how people are bearish.
I will pull that up in a second. That actually sounds interesting to pull up. Yeah, that sounds like who was that just talked?
It's Lex, but it closes in 15
That's what I
days
thought.
and it's literally hovering around. It's insane. Look at it.
So for anybody that's listening in on the stream or in Discord, Lex he also trades harmonics, and the dude's on point, man. Like I just know that when he posts, got a good head on his shoulders, and I always like to listen to it because there's only a few people that I actually, when I see them talk, that I actually am like, oh, let me check that out. And he's one of them. So him and Grisati and a few others. Alpha, he's in here as well, Sky. So when he talks about stuff, I listen to. But here, let me, and that's because I've known them for a while, or at least enough to see them be right over and over. So look, just before I go back to Bitcoin 6 month, I mean, look at this. We're tapping it. Like, we haven't broken down yet. There's no reason for me to be overly bearish on this yet. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, sure, lose trend. All right. Now I'm like, all right, maybe I'm wrong. Let me readjust. But in the meantime, like, no. We could literally, this could be like a bottom area for a very long time. Like, how long did this tap take? 95 days. I mean, this one, let's just go to this one, 81 days. And say we just dragged it all the way over to the next tap here. 140 days. Like, we could be bottoming for the next half of the year. It's just possible. Alright, let me check the BTC 6 month. We're going to go over Solana. Don't worry, guys. I know everybody loves Solana. Even though sooner or later I do think that chain is going to go under. Don't get me wrong, I own Solana. I bought Solana down around 12 bucks and 9 bucks this cycle. So don't get mad at me. But overall, I do think one day, boom.
Oh! Oh! It went to 0! Yeah!
Solana. No, I'm just kidding. So the 6 month? Yeah, I mean, that just looks unreal. I think even the 3 month I was looking at the other day, that just amazing. Like that's not. We got 17 days. You imagine they close this candle green in 17 days? Let me just make my candle green real quick for you guys to be a little more bullish on this, like high time frame. Imagine this candle right here with this wick and this hammer on a 3 month quarter turns green by the end of the 3 month close. That will be the most fucking bullish chart with 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Look what happens the next quarter. Boom. Right? Or it's, hold on, or it's maybe the top. 1, 2, 3, right? No, I'm just kidding. For real though, I mean, even this one, if say it does close like this, I mean, next month, next half of the year is going to be bullish. Maybe you just gotta fight for a little bit, but I think we're good, man. The monthly.
Also, if you pull up the weekly moving averages, we're literally just trend riding. I mean, we backtested 21-week moving average, and then we're literally just hovering above the 10 now. Like, it's just very trend-based. It's not, there's nothing going on here.
Yeah, I mean, look at these EMAs, dude. What do I have on here? I think I have the 10 and the 21. Does it not even tell me? Oh yeah, 10, 21, 50. So look, we're literally tapping right on the weekly 10 right now. Literally tapping the weekly 10. And we came down 21 perfectly. Like, man.
Once you see more like institutional money come in, I think EMAs will have like quite a big impact, because I think a lot of their algorithms trade off of moving averages, based on what I did in some other stuff before it. But in this, I can't imagine it's too dissimilar.
So I posted my Discord link on Twitter if you guys want. You guys can definitely come in here and talk on stream if you want and ask some questions. So just go to the link I posted, go into the Discord and approve. I'm in the public section of the Discord, so you can actually just join in there and talk. Obviously, if you do anything stupid, kicking you out of there. But, yeah. Yeah, man, and just look at this. This is... We start flipping this, man. Pull back. We already tried right here, and everybody got fucking horny that we're gonna just break right out. It came right back down, all the way down, filled the weekly gap. Now we're at try 2. We had a small rejection. Maybe people got excited up here, got wiped, and then come back down. We touched the 10, and then imagine we just break out above this. Like, this could be a very, very powerful move up, and it could also be the top. It's like that area, and nobody knows 100% what's gonna happen. I'd rather be prepared for both. Like, I think if this does break out, you have a nice invalidation area. It also helps for me being long from here. You know what I mean? Like, I can remain a bull a lot longer than some people that are long and up here. I have a great entry on a recent long that I had. And I don't mind holding this. Like, if we come back down, I mean, what's the worst thing to happen? Like, I'm still very comfortable. But if we do break out and we go to 100K, I have a fucking... I just had to hold and have patience and conviction, which a lot of people lack. Flip-flopping every which way. Top 100. Let's see here. Yeah, Ondo. In the last hour, just a nice candle. Lido too. Lido starting to move. Does somebody know something about the ETH? What's LPT again? I forget. I feel like I should know this. Live peer. LPT. Video streaming network protocol that is fully decentralized, highly scalable crypto token. Okay. Cool. Alright, now I gotta get my candles back to different colors. Kind of fucking me over right now. I don't even think this is the same color I had it, but whatever. The green was making me too bullish. I gotta keep it neutral, man. Look at that, we hit a weekly fucking buy too on Carmi software right here. This one, not so good. Everything else, not bad though. Time. Bottom. Nice bottom. That's a nice move. It looks small. I guarantee this was a pretty nice move. Yeah, like 50% up. It's not bad. Nice move. This one still questionable, but nice move. Great move. Great move. That's probably the only one that's like a really big outlier. We just need a yellow dot, man. We can get some yellow dot for some continuation now. We have the green. We get a nice yellow dot. We're gonna have to see, man. Only time will tell. Let's go over Solana. I know somebody said it. They're probably like, can this man fucking go over Solana so I can go to sleep? Alright. I got a few things going on over here on Solana, right? Let's go to Let me hide these real quick for you. I'll go back over them. Just broad overview, high time frame. Let's throw the fib on it. All right. Overall, came up, tagged the 786, right? We tag a 786, if that's the high, I think butterfly next. As soon as the 786 happens. Could it be the top? Yes, but could it be putting in a dip down for a C leg for a potential butterfly to a 1272? Bearish pattern? Yes. It is a bearish pattern because when it completes at D, that is when you're supposed to short. So that is a bearish pattern. So when I post this stuff and I say, oh, there's a bearish pattern on Solana and it's down here, sometimes that just means that you could be setting up for a bullish move into the D point, which is where the bearish pattern completes. So 786, we had a 0.5 pullback pretty much. 2 point, you're in the range for the butterfly. 1 second, I need some water. Alright, I'm back. By the way, guys, if you haven't, just hit a subscribe real quick. I'm definitely going to start streaming more. I'm starting to get some things set up around it so I can make it nice and smooth and easy as possible. You don't do anything small when I do it, so if I'm going to do this, I'm going to get everything, try to set up correctly, and go from there. So let's go over the butterfly. So the max extension for a butterfly, typically 2.24 for the B to D leg here. You're literally right at like a 2.24. So this could be a perfect harmonic that would pop up on Solana, which 328, I mean, I would probably sell all my Solana if we got that. Every single one. And if that happened, I mean, dude, we gotta dip back down to 168. Maybe I'd buy there. Because that actually makes sense. Like, right? That's your, or the 618 even, which is down here around 130. When you put in a nice, like, base down here for maybe a future retracement to come back down to that area. 382 is right here, which that would be your first TP off of this. Would be a move back down to 205. You know what I mean? So let's just say hypothetically this goes up to here for now. Say we come up, maybe reject, go. This would make sense, right? We form a nice base. Could definitely happen, man. All right. So I can look at low time frame on Solana for you if you want. But overall, like, this was an order block, so it's the last up candle before down here. Typically that will act as a resistance, as it did here. But once that blew past this, comes back down and retraces into it, especially in that midpoint there. That it's shown strength, and we are flipping it into a support. There was actually a bullish harmonic here as well. We had a 0.5 bat, 886, nailed it perfectly, came back down, retested the area. I got long at 123. The take profit was up here around 174, 175 at your 618. Actually, this was the same day. I went over this on the last stream. It pumped up to like 180, 182. I think that's where I sold a good chunk of my long. But I am still long, and I'm holding this because I do think this could be a generational into the next part of the bull market. If the rest of it does come down here and breaks me out, like stops break even or whatever, fine. Maybe I'll just get back in if I see it fit. But overall, not looking too bad here. Came down into this order block that we're holding on Solana. We have a trend line that we've been holding. So this area we have been holding pretty much like a trend. We have been bouncing off of it, and we're back to it now. So things I would watch out for Solana, we start breaking down below this. If not, this area right here is not a bad spot. Then I would look for us to see how we react in the breaker block again. So we do have this harmonic. This harmonic has played out. It has hit TP2. I did take my profit on that long. There is a couple other harmonic patterns showing up here. So this is, like I said, the 786. We went up to 786. This is just the Ethereum and macro Solana chart in a micro version. You know what I mean? We had the macro 786. Getting the same thing happening over here. Daily 786 could set up for a potential, as long as it doesn't go past the 886 here, which it could still come down here and this still be valid. This could be setting up for a move to a 1272, which would be a bearish harmonic at a 236, a lower time frame. If we do start to pump from here, I would be watching out 236 area. I'd be looking around there to see how we react. On the first initial move up here, we take another nosedive. Maybe take some profit out, maybe add back in lower if we can, and then go from there. Down risk. There's a larger harmonic here that I spotted for the potential downside as well. I mean, there's a few actually, right? So, I mean, this is just macro. Say, God forbid, something happens to Solana. I don't think this is going to happen, but it's a bullish bat, high time frame. What would indicate me to be looking for lower is for us to be breaking down, like I said, below the breaker block, the midpoint, the B point of the harmonic, because that also activates the BAM theory for harmonics, which is when you break past your B point after putting in a C leg and reject it like this, bad action magnet, you look for a completion. And I'm not saying this will happen, I'm just going through some textbook harmonics work. But that would also bring up your order block or your breaker block here at the same time as using harmonics. So two different types of styles of trading would be in this area where you would reject. So I would not want to see us lose this. This right now I think is very important for Solana, this area. We start breaking below this, sure, but above that I have to remain a bull for now. Alright, so I think that's it. Let me go ahead, I'll look over like divergent stuff on the daily. I know I'm kind of operating pretty high time frame here for a lot of people. I'm trying to give you a broad overview because I think in this stage in the market you need to be operating high time frame versus low time frame. But lower time frame, I mean, I guess we can go over this real quick too. could be a lower time frame bat here. Maybe we do sweep these daily lows that we have. One more little sweep. It's a little bit off with the B point here, but 143 potentially if we do get one more move down and we just sweep all this. Wouldn't be a bad area to try to get long on this. See how it looks. Yeah, not terrible. Scrolling left. Oh my god, look at that. Look how that lines up. Pretty much the exact top of this over here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so it's a good area, right? Like the harmonic completes at a spot where you scroll left and it's like, oh, that would make sense. So yeah, doesn't look bad here at all. 4 hour, let's see if we got little bullish divergences here. The daily. Yeah, doesn't look bad. I mean, if we do this, I mean, if you're looking just for like a scalp, you're 618 and 382 areas here and here. There'll be some TPs if you're looking for a scalp. Ideally, you want to hold this area down here. With, like I said, this potential harmonic setting up here. And you're tagging out weekly. Yeah, so it doesn't look bad, you know what I mean? So you get a wick down, 618, something. That wouldn't be a bad bid. Weekly, hidden bull. Can you imagine this is just a giant Livermore pivot on Solana? Oh gosh, look at this. You guys know what a Livermore pivot is? Chat? Let me pull up my crypto or my Discord chat too. Jesse Livermore. Yeah, give me a sec, I'll post it. If you're in Discord. Oh shit, my phone's all fucking up. Here, I'm just gonna post it so I can copy and paste it real quick. See if it'll let me post. Yeah, look at that. What are you guys doing if we just have a fucking Livermore pivot on Solana? And just fucking moons. I'd hate to see some of the guys on Solana like with that much money. Some of them, because they're already annoying as shit. Some of them are fucking retards. I'm sorry, guys. Use the R word, but some of the people are idiots. What's this? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 328, give or take. This would probably be 8, right around all-time high. 9, 10, 11, 12, 0. Yeah, this would fucking piss off Moon Boys though. Not saying it can happen, not saying it can't happen, but I mean, the chart shows a potential a little more. You know what I mean? You see it with your own eyes. Somebody that studied stocks and trading and everything, and for forever, right? Like this guy wrote books about this shit. Like he has notes about it, and he was a famous trader. I have to make this more transparent. No, it's too much. Can I like tilt it? I don't know how to do any of that stuff on here. You get my point. Oh dude, yeah, this is NFT Central. Everybody's rich from Solana. Everybody has more money than they know what to do with, so they gamble it on NFTs, and that's just exit liquidity for everybody for that made money on Solana to hold their NFTs, or people to buy Solana. It makes people want to buy Solana, to hold Solana, to buy NFTs, so they're selling into everybody that's buying Solana to buy an NFT, because they want to be a part of this community that people are made a lot of money and there's rich people in it. So they buy, whales are using NFTs as exit liquidity because people are buying Solana to buy an NFT while the whales are dumping their Solana. And then, yeah, it's just perfect exit liquidity. And then people get emotionally tied into it because it's a picture, and they say, oh, the community's doing this, the devs are doing that, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, are just dumping into you while you're fucking buying Solana at the top to buy a fucking picture on the internet. Literally. This is where you get Mia Khalifa coin. Azalea's twerking up here. This is where you get like fucking euphoric. Everybody's super euphoric if we tap that. It makes sense though, right? Here, like, let me just like make one and draw one that would look fucking hilarious. Like if this, just imagine this was the top of this bat, or this butterfly. I mean, this would look hilarious. Your stop loss is a 1414 typically. Sometimes it can go up to a 1618 for a butterfly. It all depends, but like, say this is, say it looks like this, and then you get, what color is this right now? 1, 2, I'll make it red. And I'm not redrawing these again. My handwriting with a mouse is fucking terrible, but you get the point. Actually, no, I'm fine. But I mean, a lot of things do look like they are just setting up like macro Livermore pivots, right? Like just zooming out on things when you're actually zooming out, you can see that too. Here, let me pull this back up. I'm just showing you guys like things that can play out high time frame, but it could also reject. So, and who is not muted because you're gonna get muted. So yeah, this is just Moon Boy charting, 100%, but like just weekly high time frame observations of things that can happen. It definitely can happen. Now, will it? Depends. I mean, if you're looking at ETH too, ETH has pretty much put one in too. Down here, it put one in, pretty much. Kind of. But I mean, last cycle it did it. Like if you can look back into the last cycle, yeah, kind of, whatever. You get the gist of it. There's a lot of charts that have it. There's one more, AVAX. We'll look over AVAX real quick. I'll take recommendations. Yeah, you're muted, Risto. Alright, AVAX. Let's go to the bear that I had on this. This is one where I said 786, you can kind of see it go to 1618 sometimes. The 1272 was like right here, where like you do see a lot of the consolidation like below that, but we did spike to a 1618. And yeah, so it's been pretty much nuky from there. But one thing I'm looking at on AVAX was this area that has broken down from right now. So this is a higher time frame thing I'm looking at on AVAX. Where I don't mind adding down in this range. Anything down here, I sold up here and up here. Anything down here, I will happily add in for a move potentially, but I think it's going to go up to 83 bucks. I think we're putting the C leg in of the harmonic. We already have a 618. And I mean, if we're dragging it potentially, you could be looking at a bat. And we're putting in a C leg for an 886, but I mean, I'll probably be completely out before this order block up here, this fair value gap that we have to fill on the weekly. We have a bearish Gartley here too. But that is what I'm looking at. So anything down here I'm trying to bid, and I'm just gonna do spot. Maybe 2x and just add some on the 2x. And then once we get confirmation of the reversal, maybe add a little more. But for now, I don't think it's a bad spot to add some back in. The original spot that we were buying was under 10 bucks. And we ran this up, and that's because if you're looking at the Bitcoin pair, which is also coming to an area, this is where we had bought previously on the 3-day. And you can actually see we had a wick, support, support, support. It was the bottom. It was the exact bottom on Bitcoin area, which for a good buy. Bitcoin. We had a fallen wedge structure. And just an impulse move up here into a weekly area. As you can see, right into the weekly order block. So now, setting up a potential deep crab, where maybe this taps into down here on this weekly order block here, right around the 886, or this weekly fair value gap, right at the 886. We fucking start stacking AVAX down here again, and we look for a potential move back up into this area, which, yeah, I would probably be looking to sell a good portion up here. I mean, you got to get past this area. If you do see it start to come back up and we're holding this, maybe you bid it again for the higher move, for this move. But versus Bitcoin, we're coming into very good areas, I think, for a 1 to 2x versus Bitcoin. So that's just what I'm eyeing. I actually did not see if this was a harmonic here. It looks like it's too low. Doesn't look like it. I mean, obviously this wick went a little bit farther down. 886 down there, 786. We tapped here, went up, we're tapping it again. I mean, this could be it's in kind of a Gartley, kind of not, but I mean, this could be an area where if we tap into that fair value gap, and we do have that lined up, where we could see an impulse of AVAX off this. I don't know what the narrative would be to start it, but that's what I'm looking at on the BTC pair. I mean, historically it has bottomed pretty nicely down in this area and versus Bitcoin, and we're getting pretty cheap versus Bitcoin again. Let's see a weekly. Do we have like a nice hidden bullish divergence or something here on the weekly, on the MACD histogram? Oh yeah, huge. We can hold above that old low. We got a lower low on the oscillator here. Could be a nice. Oh yeah, Sky, I should have. Alright, let's look at some. Somebody is talking about how their NFTs, their souvenir now. Part of your identity now. Yeah, don't get lost in it. That's like exit liquidity for the whales. You can make a lot of money there because people have a lot of money. They just throw it around, but also make sure to realize that that's probably going to be towards the end of the cycle. It, just like in the cycle prior, it was like shit coins. Like low caps were going crazy. Like this one, we had low caps, but we also had like NFTs was the craze at the time. So it's just exit liquidity. People have money to spend, they'll gamble on some low caps, some NFTs. But also people are getting into crypto because it's at the highs, so people are buying to buy NFTs, and whales are selling in. Alright, let's look at a couple. Somebody said alt. Oh wow, right at the hop level. Look at that. 1.13 action. What's this? Probably pin this up here to the daily. It's probably a 6-1 if you ignore the wick. Dude, good eye. It's a long-term SR flip. Oh. The fuck here? What happened here? You know? There we go. Good man, that looks good. I like this. This is a alt bat. Alt bat's typically 382, but the hop level is a 1.13. It's gonna be bottom. It would be a very logical place for this thing to bottom out down here. Very. Potential crap, the lower time frame too. Like if we do get like that high time frame one and then low time frame, maybe we get one more wick down. I mean, I would probably build a position in here. We already swept this low. Like this is the area to build one if you're gonna buy this within this little range. I mean, what's that? If you want to get fancy with it, maybe 5% lower. I mean. But yeah, there's a nice crap here actually too. This is beautiful. I already looked at this, right? 1618. Ratio wise, this is gorgeous, man. or 1.13. What about this? No. Let's check some ABCDs. I don't really think I see any though. Nah. Yeah, that, that looks good. I like this. Oh god, someone's eye is better than mine. Looks like 7% of the supply every month on the 25th. Looks like it unlock. We pumped into every unlock. Obviously this one was a big. Token unlock. You can also use DeFi Llama. If you go into my Discord, if you're in the Army section, you can go to useful websites. There's a tab that says useful websites under trading checklist. I have the link to DeFi Llama unlocks, and I also have unlocks. There's also a bunch of other shit in there that you can look at. I have a ton of, probably like 30-40 websites in there that'll help. That you can use to monitor stuff and look at unlocks and a bunch of other shit. Upbit just listed Ondo Finance. I like it. Due to the new regulation in July, South Korean exchanges are accelerating the listing of tokens. Interesting. Dude, I got an alt. I'll probably throw some out. This could be like legitimately the bottom on it too, which is funny. All right. NMT somebody said, and then I will end the YouTube stream if anybody else wants to hang out. Netmind. It's a deck springer one this time. If I can type. Netmind. NMT. Is it this one? It's not the one on Pancakes. It's on both, right? USDC. I don't know much about this. 245 million market cap. I've heard of it, but I haven't really looked at it too much. Order block here. Nothing. Got a little daily fair value gap. No, it already filled. Huh. Maybe 584 would not be bad. I don't know too much about this. I've heard of it, but maybe the 786 is the bottom. 1272. Butterfly. I'll just leave this on here if I ever pull it up again and see how that plays. Two X. Another one I want to look at is Mirror. This is one that I feel underexposed to. I do think this is actually a pretty good project, especially with it being more AI focused. Three days, tapping right at the 50. This could have like a deep crab potential. 886. God. 11.9 next, maybe? Maybe even higher, but I don't know. I like near. It just tapped a 6 and 8 pullback too. I might have to start building a position on this. I was watching it down here and I should have, but we'll see. I think Near's a pretty good one.
I personally think the market is more than on there.
Huh?
I don't know, because they had a lot of token info. But if you check the market cap chart, it'll give you a better representation, I think, on this one, because it had a lot of token inflation in the bear market. So like, it's actually a much higher retracement in terms of market cap.
So is it still unlocking as much? Like the vesting, like how has that been?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It only came on my radar like a minute ago, but I've been looking into it.
I remember trading Near last cycle. If I like pull up one of my Near charts, my buddy like shorted the exact top of it. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I don't know if I had deleted it or what. I don't know if it's still even going to show it on there. And I think we were trading on Bybit at the time. Maybe it's the Bybit one. Maybe not. Probably not on there anymore. Dude, this is so old. I mean, that's not a bad level for it to tap into next, like a 12 bucks. It's the middle of this old fair value gap that I broke through. Yeah, wick, body, wick. Like, I could see this happening. Where are we at back here? I mean, this is a good area, bro. Don't you think?
I think a load of these alts are like kind of completing Wyckoff accumulation structures. They're kind of in the SOS stage.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. I mean, this is tapping this trend line here. I mean, if it falls below, there's that one, like the higher time frame one, all the way. But I mean, just looking based on like a trend line here, that you're like right at it, bro. Like this, we could be bottoming on a lot of shit. Probably fall through them, but I really do think this could be like lows on a lot of shit. Like if I said this week or the next, I think we put the low in, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think we're shaping up for the L1 trade again, to be honest. I think there's going to be a lot of L1 rotation.
I do too. I think a lot of people are going to be stuck bag holding memes.
The thing is if we don't get the L1 rotation, then we're not going to have the fun later in the year.
We need the L1.
We get to just like go across all the different chains. We need the L1s to pump first, you know, and then we can get that.
This looks good. Looks like every other chart though right now. This is my favorites at the moment. I just really think this one looks good. Somebody made a good point on the alt too. I think he's looking at it in log scale. Maybe he's not, I don't know, but I think he has the low from over here. Maybe he's not in log scale. I don't know. I don't even know if this Binance. I think it's just setting up for fallen wedge. I wish I could set vertical alerts. You can though, can't you? I forgot I can do that. Let's just do this. Let's do regular and let's drag this bitch over here. Because this would be nice if you can get a reclaim above this level. Here. Here. And a breakout of the fallen wedge. Whatever it does. I mean, that would be a pretty good long. There too. See if we get it on the apex. Alright, cool guys. I think that's all for the YouTube stream. Tune back in next time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on it. To stay live and And if you guys have any more